Solana, Terra Luna, and Phantom FTM price action. This might be a great day to go shopping. So by the end of the video, you'll not only know if it is a good time to go shopping, but when to start getting defensive and when to flip your mentality in terms of bullish, bearish, neutral. So let's dive right in. But before we do, hey, returning viewers, hit like for me. Leave me a quick comment, even if it's you suck, LOL, LOL, you suck, or you suck, you actually do suck, something to that effect. I love those comments, and for new viewers, they probably think, what the heck is going on? So I think it's funny, but it helps out the algo. Either way, for new viewers, this is what this channel does. You're watching mostly YouTubers who talk about project fundamentals and news. No, you are. And most of you are scared to sell. And you don't realize that if you like Solana, you sell a little Solana at strategic times, especially if you had watched my previous video on this, and you'd be sitting really pretty and you'd have more Solana now. So my channel allows you to supplement the other information you're getting from fundamentals and news-based channels, so that from my channel, you know a little bit more about what the heck you're doing when you're clicking around with your money, which those channels do not help you do at all in the least. But that's what I'm here to do on mostly altcoins. But I do release an overall market sentiment video on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano several times a week as well to supplement. So here we go. Let's jump right into it. Solana. Last time I did Solana, covered Solana, I got a lot of thumbs down because
coming all the way down from top, having a 42% correction, down this line, even 45. That's perfectly normal because look at this trading channel.
Okay, so I was calling for a 45% correction based off of my rules of thumb. Not going to go over those here. So I actually put down 50 here. So I wrote 50 because I think you're going to get a wick down to here. So I think you'll start basing up here with a wick down 50% lower than the actual wick high. And when price was about here and I was calling for this, I got a lot of thumbs down because folks don't like to hear that sort of thing. But now that you are potentially returning after not liking hear that, do you like my analysis now? Because had you taken some profits, as I was suggesting, thinking that, hey, around here might still be a good time to to let go of some so you can free up some tether and buy back lower. Well, now you can see, and honestly, it'll take a little longer. Watch. Like a move down here is not aggressive. Watch. Take a fractal from those 2 points. And there you go. Or let's do it again. I bet this one will also align. Watch. Just another normal, just basic move down. Nothing scary, nothing tragic. Watch. Ka-chink. That line has a good chance of being hit, folks. Very, very good chance of being hit. So flipping back to Bitcoin here, if Bitcoin stays under this line, what I have labeled the point of control at 46.8850, even if Bitcoin starts recovering, keeps going like this, Solana will still probably slowly head down towards that line and recover. And that could align with Bitcoin recovering above that line. But if Bitcoin does charge above this line after like a V-shaped type of thing, goes like this, and really starts pumping, Solana might not hit that line. However, I was expecting that Bitcoin would visit here one more time, or at least hang out here for a while and let Solana bleed out, something to that effect. That's why I was able to, that's why I was fairly confident with that call. It's not really a call. It's just a downside target, right? If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, well, then at least you had taken profits. And if it never hits, starts turning around, and you mark it by, for a Pokemon card here, well, shoot, you're still buying Solana. How much lower? You have a 21% sale still, right? Even if it doesn't hit the downside target. So downside targets aren't, they don't hit 100% of the time. And really, if you have seen my library videos, you would know that you would straddle on both sides of these and you would spray some limit buys around that line, not just trying to buy at a single line, right? So hopefully for those of you who follow my channel and who like Solana, that was embedded within my downside target. But yeah, that's what I got for Solana. I still think it has a strong chance of hitting that line. That would be exactly a 50% correction from here. And my rule of thumb is if you go on a 500 to 1,000% run from the point you break out of previous support / resistance, so measuring from right there, not the bottom. So that's my rule of thumb. Kind of when it leaves the gas station there, watch 600%. So you're going to get it between somewhere in the deep 40s, like 45 to 50% correction. On a 50 on a wick low, 45, you might start basing around there. And so that's, and honestly, folks, in altcoins, that's just how they move. I can't explain why. It is just how they move. Yeah. Shouldn't have done that. All right, so let me fix my Solana chart real fast. Dragging stuff around. All right, let's go to Terra Luna. Let's see if it's above or below its weekly 10 EMA. Holy cow, that's a really good reaction. Even Ethereum, both Ethereum and Bitcoin went below their weekly 10. This is bouncing right from it. This is strong. If Bitcoin really tanks, this could close below, but Bitcoin would have to go down pretty significant. This is a great reaction. Honestly, this asset is this is honestly what you want to see in a strong. This is good. That's just really. I mean, look at Bitcoin. It went even below its 21, which is deeper. Watch and look at Ethereum. See, Ethereum is currently below its weekly 10, which is the red line here that I'm tracing here. So Luna is having a really good reaction. So among the big caps that are on page one market cap and have flown up recently, I personally think this one has the strongest posturing for midterm upside potential getting set up. So among Luna, Solana, and Phantom, maybe I should look at Phantom chart before I say this, but definitely more so than Solana. This looks really good. And compared to a lot of the other big cap page one altcoins, maybe Phantom being an exception here, this looks better than most of them for the rest of this year upside potential on an ROI percentage basis. This looks really good, folks. I don't have much more to say. So when would it not be looking good? If you closed a week down here and the next week can't get above, that would be concerning. But you might have a fake out to the downside and then it recovers like immediately the next week, right? That could happen. So one weekly closure, I'd be mildly concerned. So that's the weekly 10 EMA. So if weeks always close, New York City time, 8 p.m. on Sunday, London time, 1 a.m. on Monday. So if at that time the week closes below and the next week begins, I would be half concerned. If the week after cannot get back above the 10, I would be fully concerned and probably start taking profits at that time if I were in profits from a previous purchase of Luna Pokemon cards. Again, this is what I would do. This is not financial advice. I'm not suggesting anything that you should do with your money because we are talking about Pokemon cards. So here we go. Okay, yeah, it's a good thing I was careful with my words. This is set up even stronger. Okay, it's a good thing I said, wait a second. This hasn't even touched its weekly 10. Wow. All right, so let's see how big of a run this is going on. So let's take off all these that we don't need. This is really good too, folks. These. So, Tim, Solana went up 600%. So has Phantom. Why don't you have a 50% downside target for Phantom? Well, because I don't think its downside actually has begun yet, and so neither has Luna's. I don't think this is true downside. I think the move does not have to take a breather. This is like it needs to take a nap. It looks like it needs to take a nap, but Solana needs a full night rest. All right, it just needs a full night rest while the other two don't. So the other two are positioned where, hey, all I need is a nap to keep. That's Link to keep going. So, but that would be a valid. I mean, is it possible that this does correct that 50%, which is that line? Ooh, I guess it almost hit my line already. Wow. Here, let's go like this. Let's see how close my guess was. Remember when I drew these? Oh, look at that. Here, let's get this one out of the way. I drew that during the last video. That's pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty close. Yeah, so I guess I did incorporate a potential up to 50% move down. But even with that, its posturing still looks fantastic. It still looks absolutely. I mean, just look at the weekly with its EMAs on, Tim. I think this has more juice in it. So let's go get some other indicators on here, see what we got going down. Yep. So the weekly, this is really healthy. So I'm going to take off the green, which is the RSI itself. The white line is the 12 exponential moving average of it. So whenever you have the exponential moving average on any time frame come up here, you typically want RSI, assuming it's above, right? Because if this has an upward slope, that means the green line's above. If the green line's way above, pulling the EMA into here, the RSI or the green line, really, it's super healthy to recheck it. So even on a week, so this is the weekly RSI with the RSI's EMA of Phantom, and even this is behaving like this was just a nap. Even though it almost got a 50% correction, it's just Phantom slept really hard during that nap, and I think it's going to keep going. This looks like it's going to want more after it tags. Even if Bitcoin, remains sideways but doesn't break below the bottom of its current channel, I think it's going to ping off there. It has a very, very solid chance of doing that. What might be slightly concerning is, a potential trend line forming up here where it gets stuck under there. That is possible, but this movement here down to here to check it is really good, so it can keep going, because it's not just gonna. So when you fly up like this, right, without any retest, that's unhealthy. And then you typically dive down quickly, just like this did. But if you could come check it, this allows you to, build your foundation, and you could keep moving up for longer periods of time. And when you move down, if you move down more slowly, so therefore, if you move down more slowly, you have a better chance of finding support, because you're not, when you jump down to support, but you're jumping slowly with a parachute, it doesn't hurt when you fall and hit that. So therefore, you have a better chance of using that as support instead of falling through it, right? So this was this price action this action right here could not find support, or it actually did, and then it just busted right through it because it was coming down so fast, and it did not find support. So if it can trickle down, and this is still making all-time highs. So if this green line is in the green zone right here, you're still busting out all-time highs, but albeit more slowly. And so this retest even sets up for the future, almost like if you ever have seen volleyball, how typically the second hit within a volley for one team is setting for the spike. Well, this is kind of like the set for the very future spike, right? Or it's setting up a healthy move up so that when it comes down, it can potentially find support and keep its run. And if that were to happen, the moving average of the RSI would make probably a mountain of it'd probably go like this. And you get a little bearish divergence, but that's still, you can squeak out some nasty all-time highs like that, and that would take you to the end of the year. So that could end up happening. But yeah, honestly, Phantom and Luna they're aggressive looking charts, but they look really, honestly, they look very, very healthy. They don't look like they need to consolidate for a lot of time. They just need a nap, but Solana looks like it needs to take a full rest. So if you liked what you saw here today and you're new, go ahead and stop, drop, and do what the sign says, hit like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe because you're new, let me know if you want to be a cryptillion or a crypto crackhead within the specific YouTube community. Those are the two crypto pronouns that we use. But if you also want to be part of the Patreon Discord community, you can see exact examples of it. Use the link below. Once you go to the actual website, it'll show you examples of the content that I provide. And we'll see y'all later. Y'all just got Timified.